Let's do the DLS Cowboys podcast. Nick Harris set the internet on fire with a report about the Cowboys. I wouldn't even call it a report, but he set the internet on fire. So we're just going to have the man on here in about 30 minutes. Did the number on George Pickens just change? Did what's happening with George Pickens just change? Let's talk about it. Cowboys Nation, it is the DLS Cowboys podcast, and we are with you as we are 5 days a week right here. Kind of 6 if you count the mini pod.
Oh, yeah. We've been potted up last couple months.
Count the mini pod. Unless you do a mini pod that can't play because something happens that ruins what you were doing in the mini pod, which has happened before. It happens. But welcome in, everybody. Go ahead and smash that like button for us. We sure would appreciate it. I'll be broadcasting with a cane today. And my cane, and my ice machine. I got my ice machine running right now. It does some ice and stuff. So that way we can actually do the show. I got a bell on my cane just to make sure. That's for Clarence, really. Clarence gets a lot of control. Hit him with it. You know what I'm saying? Let's do this thing. My name is Jeff. I'm next to former Cowboy wide receiver Jesse Holley.
Yeah!
What about
I do have to, I'm going to wait until after we introduce anybody. But when you go 1 to 2 to 3 in introductions, come back to 2 after that. Because I got to give somebody a shout out. They took care of your boy this weekend.
I got you. Next to Jesse is the greatest beat writer in the history of the Cowboys, Mr. Clarence Hill.
We like mamas. Hey, what's that smell? Smell something sweet? You smell something sweet? Sweet 16, Texas Longhorns, baby. Sweet 16. How sweet is that, baby? Men and women, Sweet 16. What's that smell like, Jess?
I thought she was about to go like the house party. I smell.
I can't say that.
Yeah, you can't say that.
I can't say that. That smell, baby.
But let me. I gotta give a shout out. I just so happened to be, and this is shout out to you guys, man, because we appreciate all the listeners that we have.
For me.
All right, I appreciate. I'll speak for myself.
I appreciate a lot of you.
Appreciate you guys. You guys far and near, right? I've been doing this for a long time, and you run into great people. You talked about it a couple weeks ago. You were away, and a dude recognized you.
Oh yeah, where was I? Where was I just at?
Japan.
In Japan.
Yeah,
I ran into a listener in Japan.
I've ran into listeners in Colombia.
Shout out to my physical therapist, the random place that I went. He's a listener, the guy who's taking care of my knee.
I just so happened, I was looking for a particular pair of these Nike they're not sneakers and they're like slides, but they're not slides. And so the only place that had what I wanted was
I got some slip-on Skechers.
Yeah, I don't want the Skechers.
Slip-ons.
That ain't in my wheelhouse.
Okay.
I had to go to Arlington. I go to Arlington and I go in there to buy these particular
The Parks Mall?
Yes.
Okay.
To buy these particular things, right? Ended up getting something I shouldn't have gotten over my budget. I have a very strict budget.
Yeah.
I went over it,
felt
guilty about it, but I still said I'm going to do a lap around the mall. Long story short, I go into the store, JD's sports store, it's the Finish Line, right? So I go in there and dude comes up to me and he's like, you can always feel when someone's like, I know who you,
right? But
I try to play it cool and I was like, oh no, he's like, but you play ball? I'm like, nah, man, I'm old, right? Of course, the lady said I looked older than Clarence, so I'm old. And he's like, all right, cool, but I could still tell he was like looking like, I know you somewhere.
Yeah.
And he said, what do you think about this tournament, man? And I was like, my team's out. He's like, who's you going for? I said, UNC. He said, I knew that was you, Jesse Holley. and so we top it up for a little bit. And the sneakers that I had purchased from the other store that I was at,
cheap over there.
I saw them in there. Now, I wanted a different size. The size that I had was fine, but I thought the other size would fit even better.
Right.
He got me the size. I get to the register. I'm about to cash out. My boy put me in the families and friend discount.
Nah, let's go.
Man, it took almost $70 off
Let's go.
a pair of sneakers that I was paying too much money for to start with.
Oh, you paid over 200.
Well, you know he did.
My boy Thornton, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate
Don't get him
you.
fired, man. You gotta say his name.
Why? I want to make sure I'm
You took 8% of our show to tell the sneaker guy, thanks for the discount.
$70 discount. He gonna get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Because I might come back to that.
don't get him fired.
They don't get fired.
Hook up. You know, you.
Yeah, he was the manager.
Okay, don't get him.
It's friends and family.
He'll be all right.
We friends.
He'll be all
Okay.
right.
Thornton, I appreciate you, bro. You don't know how much you made my weekend, man. I appreciate the fact that you thought enough of me to put your numbers in and take care of your boy Jay Holly, man. Thank you.
Yeah, he'll be all right. And we do want to shout out G, don't we? G from
We
Jersey.
want to say our G from Jersey. Again, Formula something on either here or
Formula
Twitter.
G20.
For the G20. Anyway, he tweeted something about the tragedy at LaGuardia and it affected some of his friends. And I don't know if he's in here today. I know he's on Twitter this morning. But if you guys know G from Jersey, man, prayers, hearts out to his family, him and his co-workers and friends' family that were part of that tragedy up at LaGuardia this morning.
Yeah. T's and P's to you, G. That's our guy.
All right, let's get into the Cowboys things. Somebody in the comments on our YouTube, go ahead and add in there about 6:45 is when the Cowboy talk starts. If you want to nitpick a little bit, just go ahead and throw that in there.
Before we get there,
Oh, hell.
I went out of town this weekend. I went to Grambling. I went to see some Omegas get initiated into fraternity at Grambling University. And a brother said, I watch you guys all the time on DLLS.
That's
I will
nice.
be watching you guys tomorrow. So I'm saying, no matter where we go, we see people that watch and support our show.
Shout out to the good bros.
We want to give, definitely shout out to the good bros. We want to give thanks and appreciation and listen, continued support, please.
You guys done with shout outs?
Just because you ain't got no friends, don't get mad at us.
You've been in the house lately. You ain't really been there to get out right lately.
All right, I'm going to shout out every person that's come to the house.
All right.
Because so far, I have not had a day where somebody didn't come over to play Monopoly Deal.
You denied me coming
I
over.
like to shout out Ashley.
Who,
I like to shout out my parents.
who's Ashley?
Why you deny me to come over?
What do you mean?
Who be Ashley?
I asked to come over.
You can come over.
You said, nah, I'm good.
Who's
Oh,
that?
no, I was good.
Who's Ashley? Why
I
she
was
get the
gonna
first
bring-
shout out?
I was going to bring chicken and everything.
Oh, you want to come over today?
No, I'm busy today.
Okay.
Why did Ashley get the first shout out?
Shout out because she's been there the most. So shout out to Ashley.
There you go.
Shout out
Give
to
her
my
another one.
parents.
There you go.
Shout out to Adam and Sabrina
Good
came
job,
over
Ashley.
one night. Shout out to Wes has come over 2 or 3 nights. Shout out to Joey came over one night.
Is Wes the black guy that I met?
Yeah. He's a black man.
He is a black man.
Yeah, he's a black man.
It's the one black man that was there besides me.
All right. Well, so Jaxon Smith-Njigba of the Seattle Seahawks got all the money.
All of it.
He got the money.
Local kids. So good job for the local kids.
Rockwall.
Man. Rockwall.
So Jaxon Smith-Njigba, that's the numbers on the screen. John's got that for you. He's the highest paid receiver in football now. He got a 4-year deal for over $160 million. And every time another person joins that club of really highly paid wide receivers, and even in this case, jumps the highest paid guy. First of all, that's just the cost of doing business in the NFL when you're trying to get something done. It's not based off of those numbers. It's based off of, oh, that receiver makes this percentage of the cap. The cap went up. So that percentage gets me this much money.
Correct.
That's how they negotiate these things. And so with George Pickens set to make $27 million this year, does what just happened matter in this negotiation at all?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Does George think he belongs there?
Yes.
I don't. He may think, and they may think, I don't think he belongs there. But in the words of the great philosopher Fat Joe,
Okay.
not lean back.
Lean back.
Not lean back. Not lean back.
Pull up your pants and lean back.
Not lean back. But yesterday's price is not today's price. And shout out to you. Talk about this
More
a lot.
shout outs?
No, to you. Shout out to you.
Shout out to me. I like that.
Getting guys done early.
Yeah.
right? Getting guys done early, because if Jaxon Smith-Njigba does this again next year, it would have been probably $44 million. Yeah. $45 million.
The price of the brick
keeps going up.
It goes up.
Let them know.
It goes up.
Shout out to the Marlowe and them.
Yeah.
But yeah, if George Pickens' agent doesn't come in and try to get to that number, he's doing his client a disservice. His negotiations to start, whether I agree with it, you agree with it, you agree with it, you agree with it, his negotiations should start at 41.5.
Woo!
That's where it should start. It should start there, right? Well,
start, yes. You can say those words. You can try it.
I'm not saying that he's going to get it,
right.
but as if I would want, as someone representing me, no, start up there. No, start at 30. Start up there, and then they start, because they're going to start down here. The Cowboys aren't going to start up there. They're going to start down here, where the floor is at.
Yeah.
And then we incrementally get closer and closer and closer, and we try to get to a number that we both ultimately respect.
Yeah.
So your initial question was, what does he think? And we've talked about this entire offseason. I've said this entire offseason.
He ain't worried about it.
Yeah, but I've said this entire offseason. You know, when the guy from Indy signed,
Alec Pierce.
That was never his market.
That ain't got nothing to do with Pickens.
I've said he has always looked at himself as the number one receiver range. He's always looked at himself in the Chase, in the CeeDee Lamb, in the Jefferson category. We've talked about this. That's how he looked at himself. More importantly, that's what the Cowboys have said. Got two number ones.
Oh, time to use your words against you.
Exactly.
I'm a number one. Here's what they make.
Exactly. But that's what they said. You know, and we talked about this. You say, I think the negotiating starts at 34, which I've said before. CeeDee Lamb money. And CeeDee Lamb talk, I don't have a problem with getting more than me. And certainly the market has jumped, you know, with two guys making over 40. But I remember when CeeDee and Jefferson signed for 34 and 35, you know, that was the market. That was the ceiling. And you look at what Pickens has done. You look at where the market is, how he thinks of himself, certainly what he did this year. And it was, you know, I threw up a number, you know, do you give him 3 years, 90 million, would he take that? You know?
If he would, you need to do that yesterday.
Exactly. Yeah. If he would do that. You know, but you look at it, and I was looking at this morning, I was driving in. So the franchise tag is 27 this year. If they tagged him again, it's 120% of that. So it's like 32.5.
Which is why I don't think there will be a deal done, because that's the way the Cowboys are going to view it, which is 27, 32.5. All right, that's $30 million a year.
Right.
You want a $30 million a year
want
deal?
31,
I got
$31
you.
million,
And they're going to be like, absolutely not. And they're going to be like, we'll see you when you get here.
Right.
Right. And so, and that's how you look at it, and that's how they want to look at it. But to me, that's where it starts. That's where the conversation starts.
Yeah.
At 32, 33, 34 million. It's certainly, he has every right to ask for 41.
Right.
You know,
for sure.
But when we talk about where we talk, you know, considering where you are, what you've done in your career, what CD's making, I'm thinking, listen, that's the floor.
Right.
It's 34.
And I go all the way back to the beginning, and to piggyback off what you said months ago.
Thank you.
The Cowboys didn't have a plan.
Yeah.
For George Pickens.
If it went this way.
No, they didn't. Who knew? Who knew?
But I've long said, because you think about Jaxon Smith-Njigba in Seattle, when you win it all, you get a little generous.
Yeah.
You know, when payday come, when you're happy, you spend a little more.
Devin Witherspoon is sitting up there like, I'm next.
Right. And so what ended up happening in my eyes when it came to George Pickens was they brought him here and they thought, okay, here's another one of the situations where we have a very high chance of this working in significant fashion, right? Maybe he doesn't become better than CeeDee Lamb, but he's better than what we got behind CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah.
Right? And he's another red zone threat. He is just another all-around good player. And then the season didn't go as well. You go 7-9-1. You don't make the playoffs. You brought George Pickens in because you thought that was a missing piece to help you make a run. You don't make the run.
And then you traded Micah Parsons.
You don't make the run that you thought that you were going to make, which would have then kind of significantly made it better to, if you want to overspend, if you got to the NFC Championship game or got to the Super Bowl, you're like, all right, now we really could spend, or I can finagle us any other kind of way because the fans are happy again. You go 7-9-1, and now you're looking up, you're saying, he outperformed numbers-wise our best guy. And now we're kind of stuck in a situation where we have to deal with that agent and that player with this new cap and how they're going to view themselves in this market. And now you're in an OS situation because you waited. Because you should have, you said you should have signed, you should have traded for him
and signed the deal.
And signed the deal right there.
Yeah.
But you let some leaves fall, and now Jaxon Smith-Njigba, he's the highest paid receiver in the NFL, and now you have to contend with those numbers.
And so not only the money part of this that they got to figure out, but there's just one more thing that says maybe George won't be here. Let's talk about it next. Let's take a moment and talk about our friends at PrizePicks. Shoot your shot on PrizePicks. Give $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. That's right. PrizePicks is now giving you $50 in lineups when you sign up and play your first $5. They make every dunk, every dime, every board that much more exciting. Don't miss the chance to get started on America's #1 app for sports picks. PrizePicks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you can cash in. New feature alert, PrizePicks now has early payouts. If your player gets off to a hot start, you have the option to cash out those winnings before the game even finishes. So go ahead, join millions of users and sign up for America's #1 sports picks app. Download the PrizePicks app today. Use the code DLLS, and that'll get you $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That is code DLLS to get $50 in lineups after you play that first $5 lineup. It's my favorite app. Get up in there. It's our friends over there at PrizePicks. It's good to be right.
If you love the NFL Draft, then this is your edge. The Die Hard NFL Draft Guide is built and based off of thousands of hours of film study, being boots on the ground, Shrine Bowl, Senior Bowl, Combine, talking to scouts, talking to coaches, really getting a feel for where these players are best going to fit and project in the NFL. And we're talking hundreds of players in this class.
Cowboy fans, you got to have access to Fran Duffy's Die Hard Draft Guide because he knows exactly what the Cowboys are looking for and has in-depth scouting reports on everybody that can help this team. So help yourself and be informed about the NFL Draft. Make sure you got Fran's Draft Guide.
All right, so what are you going to find in the guide? Well, you're going to find player comps. You're going to find strengths, weaknesses, physical tools, analytics, highlights, analysis from all across the space, everything you need to try and determine who are the best players for your team. You get access to the guide if you're a diehard, and you'll also get access to a couple of individual breakdowns I'm doing specifically for your team. All right, look, if you want surface level breakdowns, you can get them anywhere. But if you want independent thought, if you want thorough breakdowns on all of these prospects, become a diehard, get the guide. Or you can get access to the 2026 guide for just $26. Let's win draft season.
What's up, DLS Cowboys Nation? It's good to see you guys. Got a couple of super chats, and we're going to talk about the Cowboys wide receiver situation. True Texan is in the super chat, said trade Pickens for picks and a player later, GP. See, here we go turning on people because they're trying to get their money.
They quick, boy.
Mr. Swade, why pay a player early if the contract goes up by percentage? Cowboys have the leverage. They can just franchise him out. He has to play it out. And, yeah, in theory, that is true. But we also have seen a history of clients of a certain agent that find their way to a little back injury. If they don't like the contract they got, you start having some stuff go on, and nobody wins. And so that's why I think it is possible that if the numbers are too far apart, it's possible that they may be entertaining the idea that he won't be here.
Why do fans not want players to get their just due? Why do they not want players to get their true value?
Because I don't get enough money. And if I don't have enough money, why should you get so much more money? And when you're already getting so much more money than me, why do you need more money?
I just hate that.
But we don't do that to the billionaires, only the millionaires.
I just don't understand why we want players to accept less and get restrained by, the market and whatever else because we cheer for the jersey.
Yeah. It's a great trick.
Start coming to y'all jobs and see if y'all gonna take a pay cut or take less when it's time for your raise.
Your company's salary cap isn't even going up.
Right.
So, Dro knows in the super chat. Always good to see you, Dro. Make a realistic, respectable offer or trade him to the Raiders for a 2. Steven and Jerry are cheeks at roster building. Smartest dumb A's that I know.
Why do we need to trade? Why can't we just pay him? Why do we got to trade him?
Well,
why we got to trade our best player?
So it is easier to pay Jaxon Smith-Njigba because how many years has he played? 3 or 4? Is it 3?
3.
So was he a first-round pick or second-round pick? He was a first-round pick. So a 4-year extension comes after the 4th year of his rookie deal,
Right.
the 5th year option, then these 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
So like when the Cowboys are negotiating with Pickens in his camp, they're going to be like, he got $40 million a year. And they're going to be like, well, he had 2 years left at this number and this number. Really, he got 33 because you guys are just counting years that don't start until 2 years from now.
Of course.
And so that's the way the negotiation goes, is everybody tries to change what the number
And
is.
the Cowboys could have done that on Pickens last year.
And that's why it's harder to get a deal done when you let people get to where Pickens is, where they let Dak get to. Like, that's just where they let Parsons. Well, Parsons was only 4 years in, but still, same kind of deal. Mr. Swade, you never get leverage from a Mulugeta deal because you have a no trade clause. A smart move is pay less and keep franchising. And I do think that Pickens.
Why is Mulugeta a pejorative to so many people? I just don't
because he's
get-
the best. Because
I don't get the hate for Mulugeta. We didn't get the hate for Drew Rosenhaus. We didn't,
you don't have to hate. You don't have to hate, but I think the point is, Rosenhaus is considered literally the devil.
Not by fans.
He was considered. Yes, he was considered the devil.
He doesn't. I get the Mulugeta hate.
I think he does.
Jimmy Sexton does not get the Mulugeta hate.
That's because I don't care about coaches. I don't care what coaches make.
I'm just saying.
But I get it. I get it.
There's general hate for Mulugeta, like he's a bad guy because he's doing his job.
No, he's the best of the best.
I would want him to represent me.
He's the best of the best.
He's
but
doing his job, and there's so much
because people just want their
outside
team
hate.
to be the best, and they want to always have their players. So when you have a power player, that sometimes it even results in you getting a new team. Like T. Higgins, I don't know how it went, but I would assume T. Higgins wanted to be a Bengal. And David, this is all me guessing, 100% Recky Specky here, because he had to change agents to get his deal done. I think David said, this is what I can get you. And T was like, but I want to be here. And he was like, well, I can't have on my record that I took below market value. So you have to have somebody else do that. That's my total guess, total Recky Specky.
It is a guess.
And so
I don't think it's about his record. And see, you're doing the same. But I don't think it's about his record. That's not the best thing for you.
Unless it's what I want.
Yes. But as your advisor.
Like if Micah really wanted to be a Cowboy, could he have convinced David to let him sign whatever he wanted to sign? I don't know.
And he could have signed it anyway. He could have
I guess
fired
he could have
David.
just said-
I mean,
Right.
you're still your own man. I've seen guys fire agents and do what they want. You're still your own man. He could have signed it. He could have done what he wanted to do. I mean, but what I'm saying is Todd France held the Cowboys over a barrel.
Yeah.
The hate, he does not get the same hate. And you want to talk about that $60 million, $40 million, how it fits in respect to other quarterbacks who, quote unquote, done more.
Yeah.
But we don't give Todd France the same hate that we give Mulugeta.
I don't hate on either one of them.
I know you don't. I'm just saying, though. But I don't think it's about his record, about I can't have a bad deal. He's just doing his job the best he can do it.
Yeah.
Like Jerry's doing his job as best to do it. Like your boy Philly is doing his job as best he can do it.
I think it's the cost of doing business if you're an agent. Because as a Cowboy fan, what you want is to hear that George Pickens got a contract extension is going to be a Cowboy. And the fact that he has the best agent in the sport makes it less likely. And so I think it's just the cost of doing business if you're the agent. I'm going to try to get every dime I can. And the fan, I just want my player to be here. So I don't care if you have to take less. I don't care if you don't win the negotiation. I just want my player here. So I think it's just that's just the world he exists in, is he's going to be the bad guy to a lot of sports fans.
And he's a guy that's from Dallas. Whole family's Cowboy fans. Grew up Cowboy fans. You know.
He's a sweet man in my experience. He and I had a great time. We bonded. We're very close now. Barrington's in the super chat.
Okay, Joe Hoyt.
Well, before you get to Barrington, holler at your boy from Italy, man.
Good afternoon from Rome, Italy is Toby. Toby, I'll be there at the end of May. I'll see you, Toby. I'll see you there.
Sir, don't know about that, Toby.
Barrington's in the super chat. How many times do we see this story? Feels like the Joneses have liquidity issues. If Pierce got that, we were screwed. Jerry won't pay $300 million for wide receivers. Now this, hope for a first for GP. Give me Lemon or Sadiq. Oh, you're already trying to replace him. 13 personnel, Jesse Holly, Kenyon Sadiq, Oregon tight end, Mekhi Lemon, USC wide receiver.
I see where you at, Barrington. I like that.
All I know is what y'all don't understand is you keep doing this. CD gonna want 40 in a year.
Yeah, of course.
You know that, right?
Yeah,
you know it's coming, right?
Yeah. But I got rid of George. You can have it. No problem.
You know.
I got a pick.
CD 2 years in, right?
I got to pick between you guys. TC was in the super chat. We'll knock that one out. And then, man, we just got another one. You guys are rolling right now. I have a dream. The Cowboys will enter training camp with all needs addressed and all players paid and happy.
Who? And then you woke up.
That is not the Cowboy way.
Yeah.
Dream on, baby.
Yeah.
Dream on.
Dream on. Dream on. Yeah, you woke up on that one.
We're going to be talking about George Pickens until July 15th, when that is the last day that you're allowed to sign an extension
And
on the
then
tag.
when we get to camp, we're going to talk about him
And
not
when he's
being
not
on the
at
practice
camp,
field.
we're going to be talking about that too. Weak sizzles in the super chat at pick 20. Let's talk these edges. Is TJ Parker a better pass rusher than Keldrick Falk is run defender? These are such conflicting prospects. I like where your head's at. I like talking draft. I think both of those names are relevant at 20. I tell you that. And they are different players. Keldrick Falk is longer, bigger. TJ Parker is a little more athletic. Two different kind of guys. Falk might put his hand down and play where Osa just vacated. And TJ would be standing up outside, give you a nice little power rusher. They'd both be fine.
Falk is what again?
Longer.
And what else?
What'd I say? What else did I say? Bigger? Oh, he is bigger and longer. Indeed. I wouldn't say he has more girth. I think it's just because he's taller that he has more weight. It's not like he's more packed into his frame than TJ. Is that a...
Nah, you good, bro.
Pause?
Nah, you good. You good, man. Nah, you good. Your draft analysis.
I can pause. I'm just analyzing. Yeah. I can't control what y'all do with it. Yeah. And so anyway, then we're going to do this in 3 minutes, so we may have to do it again later or in a different show. And then there's the weird stuff at wide receiver. Yeah. So it's not just this negotiation. But in draft season, you can bring in 30 prospects to your building. They're called 30 visits. And one of the Cowboys that has been revealed, assuming it's correct, only 3 have been revealed so far, but one of them is a wide receiver.
Right.
Omar Cooper Jr. You want to know where he's getting drafted? I bet.
First round.
In the 20s.
Receiver out of Indiana.
What are we doing using a 30 visit on a first-round wide receiver? What are you doing?
This is completely Recky-Specky. This is completely Recky-Specky.
Go ahead.
We're looking at, we just talked about the Jaxon Smith-Njigba deal. That impacts George Pickens. Whether you like it or not, it impacts George Pickens. Because when those numbers begin to come out, my negotiation just jumped up a little bit more.
Right.
And again, completely Recky-Specky. But the Cowboys have linked themselves to 3 wide receivers. One on the Thursday visit, and then they have some.
And they're having a private dinner with an SMU wide receiver tonight.
And so
that's a later round guy, but another receiver.
You have to ask yourself, if we currently look at the wide receiver depth chart for the Dallas Cowboys, we would assume CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, Ryan Flanoy. Those are your top 3 right there.
Right.
Insert little Tink Turpin. And then you have Mingo, who they still are probably hopeful for. And then your training camp. That's 5 right there. And then you have the training camp darling last year that everybody wanted to have a roster spot in Trayshawn Holden. That's 6. That sounds like a pretty solid room. In addition to.
And that's if you have 6 up on game day. A lot of teams will have 5.
Right. And you still have a significant amount of needs and holes on your defensive side.
Yeah.
So the Recky-Specky part is maybe they're doing their early due diligence because they're working on something in the back end. Again, completely Recky-Specky.
We like a good Recky-Specky.
But this makes no sense to me that you should be swimming in wide receiver waters when you have a significant wide receiver may not be anywhere. It might be second to quarterback. And we don't need that.
And you're just going to go, look, I'm not going to pay you 40. I'm going to pay this first round pick 6.
You know what I'm saying? So they're completely Recky-Specky, but you have to look at that and go, maybe there is a little bit of smoke
to that fire.
To that fire?
Fire to that smoke.
Well, and as you talk about it,
I was just kidding. I was so just kidding. No. Please continue.
But you're
we're up against it.
We got 30 seconds. I was just being funny.
The draft, and you do want smoke. You do want other teams thinking, well, he may draft Cooper. Should I trade up? It's some gamesmanship too to go with this. So if we're at 20 or whatever else, and Cooper's on the board, and the team wants him.
Yeah,
they mess it with Cowboys. Might get him.
Yeah,
might want him.
Fair.
So they brought him in for a 30 visit.
That's fair. Let's knock out these 2 super chats real fast. Watch me go real fast. Mr. Swade, Clarence, no one's hating on Mulugeta. Why are you hating on Jerry? Hating on Jerry's fun, and it's free game. Pickens has no leverage. This is facts. If I'm running a biz, I'm going to play the game. That's the whole point for the player and the agent, is to generate leverage or try to, and that's what they'll try to do. Silk Striker, keep Pickens, fix the defense, best chance to win. I like where your head's at, partner. Coming up next on the DLS Cowboys podcast, the man who set the internet on fire and maybe the enemy in the city of Houston right now is Nick Harris of the Fort Worth Star-Telegram. So the Cowboys talking about a couple of linebackers. Let's get to the bottom of it next. Let's talk about why right now is a great time to be a diehard. The reason is Fran Duffy. He's our all-city draft expert, and when you take advantage of the discount we have right now on becoming a diehard, you get access to the 2026 Diehard Draft Guide. So what do you get inside of that? Well, notes, numbers, takeaways from all 300-plus players who were at the NFL Scouting Combine in Indy. Fran was out there, and he's talking to coaches, he's talking to GMs, he's talking to scouts, and he's obviously watching the tape on these players as well. So if you're a fan of the spoken word, you could also subscribe to Fran's All NFL Draft podcast. But the draft guide itself is absolutely awesome. You're talking over 300 players, the scouting reports, the setup of it. It's a really clean look. You get a scouting report, who these guys are, who they've been, all the way back to their recruiting rankings. He's got all sorts of notes. You can sort by different position groups, and the rankings inside those position groups, in addition to just going to all, and you can see the big board, and you'll know everything there is to know about every player that the Cowboys draft. You'll get that perspective from our all-city draft expert, Fran Duffy. He's absolutely incredible. This comes from being at the Shrine Bowl, being at the Senior Bowl, being at the Combine, talking to everybody, watching the tape. So Fran's really plugged in. And it's really good stuff that you want to have access to when it's time to go drafting. And also, it's a great time just because you get a discount right now. Normally, being a diehard is $79.99 for that yearly diehard status. Your first year right now is $36. And that's quite a discount and a good thing to take advantage of. You still get your free t-shirt. You still get access to all of the perks of being a diehard. And in addition to that, the Discord's great. You come hang out with us in the Discord. We're having a good time with you and fellow diehards. And you get access to that draft guide. It's a great deal. So sign yourself up today to be a diehard, or else. It's the DLS Cowboys podcast. Just strapping into my ice machine here. Got to go every 15 minutes. Welcome back, everybody. We're going to have a special guest this segment because he set the internet ablaze on accident the other day, and he tried to hide. He tried not to have it blow up by hiding it in a reply instead of a tweet. But I'd like to introduce everybody to Nick Harris of the Fort Worth Star-Telegram. How you doing, Nick?
Yeah, doing fantastic. I appreciate you, fellas.
All right, and so
Chris Gringo.
Nick, in a reply to somebody on the internet, was talking about the Cowboys and linebackers and how he said they've moved on from Patrick Queen. And they're discussing Azeez al-Shaair of the Houston Texans and Jordan Brooks of the Miami Dolphins. And I think all of Houston media told him he's going to hell, that Azeez is not ever going to be traded, and to shut his mouth. So, Nick, I just want you to set us up with where we are with the Cowboys chasing linebacker.
That is exactly where we're at. The Cowboys are chasing linebackers, and they're trying to get creative with what that approach actually looks like. And this is part of it. I think their starting linebacker comes from the trade market as of today. And they're looking at that trade market. They're seeing what the options look like. And I was asked about 3 specific names, Queen, al-Shaair, and Brooks. And I was like, yeah, I think Queen is, they've pivoted off. But they've discussed al-Shaair and Brooks. And, oh, my God, you would have thought I said that they are trading for both of them by the end of the weekend. And it's finalized and settled. Yeah, I tried to hide it in a reply. But as I told Jeff on his podcast yesterday, I was like, this is what I get for throwing chum in the water in March.
Yeah, that's what you get.
Yeah, but for the Cowboys, in the building, how confident do they feel with the linebackers that they currently have? I know that they may go out and get another one, but is there a sense of confidence that they have with those guys? Overshown returning back from injury, and Shamar James, who coming into his second year. Is there where's the confidence meter at for the Cowboys and the linebackers they currently have?
Yeah, not strong from an off-ball perspective, right? And so Overshown, obviously, yes. But when Brian Schottenheimer's at his press conference in Indianapolis and he's mentioning Justin Barron, I don't think that's necessarily a good indication of where the roster is at. Nothing against Justin Barron. He was a fine player at Syracuse and was good on special teams last year, but that's not going to be a starting off-ball linebacker for you. And so I think everyone understands where this linebacker situation is behind the scenes, and that's why they're trying to be creative to figure out how to address it. And they wanted to address it in free agency. Devin Lloyd was not a price point that I feel like front office was comfortable with. They went after Nakobe Dean, they went after Quay Walker, and just straight up lost on those two. And it's tough to see them go back to back like that, because I think if there was a little bit of time in between Dean and Walker, then Walker could have had a bit harder of a push at the end of the day. But as the situation sits, I still think there are some good options on the free agency market. I think Bobby Wagner would be fine on a 1-year rental, absolutely. But I think they want more of a long-term solution.
It was interesting, Nick, and it better be interesting because your tweet suggested what the Cowboys wanted to do, what the Cowboys were doing. It didn't say the Texans were interested in trading. It didn't say the Texans.
You don't have to protect your fellow Big J journalist.
No,
Go after him.
But that's how it went. You know, it's like we what we see in our mind and what the Cowboys said in my had nothing to do what's in your mind. You know, and what they're trying to do, and so people just took it and ran with it. Now that the Texans are interested in trading him, and that was not what the tweet was about. But getting back to the current guys, and we've talked about it. This is a contract year for him too.
Yeah,
he's never put it all together. We love Overshown and what he's done and his potential, but he's never put it all together. Can you talk about beyond the other guy? You still have questions about Overshown and those guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And not only do you need a starting middle linebacker, you need depth in that room too. They only have 3 linebackers on the entire roster that would be scheduled to play off ball next year. They've moved Maris Leaf out, an outside linebacker, obviously, bringing in Rashawn Gary, outside linebacker. So 3 guys that are off ball. So they need a lot in that department. And, I was asked a couple days ago, I was like, okay, let's say that they trade for Jordan Brooks. Does that prevent them from drafting a guy like Sonny Styles if he's there at 12? I was like, absolutely not. It would be malpractice if you didn't. And so, but with Overshown specifically, sure, absolutely. And there's still a lot that they want to see from him. They want to see him put 17 games together. He hasn't been able to do that yet. And so if he's able to put that all together and they're able to put a starting middle linebacker next to him, then, you feel better about that room. But there's a lot of ifs involved there.
So, Nick, I'm going to ask you this one, and this answer is not as a Big J journalist. You're allowed to recklessly speculate. You can recky-specky all you want, okay? This will not be held against you as a report. But when you look at the needs of the Cowboys as we head through the rest of free agency and into the NFL draft, if you had to guess amongst those how they would fill each spot, you've got 12 and you've got 20. You have more than 2 big needs. So if you had to guess at how they work their way through all of that, what positions end up there and what gets handled elsewhere?
Yeah, again, this is my speculation here. I think linebacker gets addressed in the trade market. 12 and 20, you'll probably see some sort of defensive back at one of those 2 spots, and then some sort of pass rusher in one of those 2 spots. Not necessarily an edge, just a pass rusher. And so that's how I would speculate those 3 spots specifically.
So, Nick, just switching over to the other side of the ball, we talked about it briefly in the last segment. The Cowboys, to me, weirdly are kind of swimming in some of these wide receiver waters. Bringing in Omar Cooper Jr., having dinner with the SMU kid is another one they were linked to. Is there a little bit of kind of tea leaves to be reading? Is a little bit of smoke where there's fire? Like, why are the Cowboys, with all their needs, the linebackers, still some secondary stuff? You can probably still get an edge rusher. You can probably use some offensive tackles, right or left. Why are the Cowboys swimming in wide receiver waters? Even dipping their toe in wide receiver waters?
Yeah, I'll start with the Omar Cooper aspect of it because obviously that's the more interesting one. That's a guy who could very well go in the first round. At the very least, will go top 50. The Cowboys, with their 30 visits and what they've done throughout the years and all the time that Clarence has been covering them, I'm sure he has the same perspective here, is they like to bring in a couple of guys who they think might end up in the division. And I think that's a perfect example of one. He could very well end up in Philadelphia if Philadelphia figures out what the hell to do with A.J. Brown. He could very well end up in New York. There's a lot of scenarios where he ends up in the division. I think that's probably that one. But as far as Romello Brinson, you're talking about him from SMU, they need a receiver on day 3. They need to add to that room. And it wouldn't shock me if they end up taking one in the 5th or 6th round.
Nick, tell the guys that if they really want something to happen, they need you to be in a U-Haul. If they really want something to happen. Tell them your history of being in a U-Haul when stuff happens.
What?
If they let him tell you.
What?
Yeah, I need a sponsorship from U-Haul at this point. I've given them so much free pub. When Micah was traded last August, I was in the middle of moving houses. And I drove a 28-foot U-Haul to the press conference. And Pat Doney from NBC5, he has the famous picture of the U-Haul in the parking lot as it's pouring down rain. And I had walked in like with clothes I had been moving in all day for that press conference. And then I moved again late December, and it was the same day Trayvon got cut. So every time I move, something happens. If I get a U-Haul, there's going to be some major news popping.
Do you have any moves planned in the near future that we need to know about?
No, I do not. God willing. Hopefully I'm staying right here for a couple of years.
Nick, are you a big draft guy, big draft nerd? Like, do you have a preference when it's talking about like who the Cowboys could have? Is there players that you really like that you're hoping that they end up with?
I think from a realistic standpoint, at number 12, I think Mansour Delane would just be an absolute gem.
Apparently, he just ran a 4.38 at Pro Day, at least according to the chat, which combine numbers, that's a 4.46, so don't get tricked.
Exactly. But, and that's been the big thing with Delane was what was his official testing going to look like? Because they were like, if it's like 4.5, then he might slip to 15. But if he's 4.4, then, maybe he goes top 10. But nevertheless, I think Delane would be awesome there at 12 from a realistic standpoint. I mean, Sonny Styles is my dream pick, I think. Caleb Downs is another one for sure. But I think both of those guys are going to be gone in the top 6 to top 8. And Delane, I'm a huge fan of. And then at 20, man, I feel really more and more. I feel good about parachuting out of that. I think if you move back from about 20 to 26, you can pick up some good day 2 capital and still get your pass rusher at 26. But I don't know. That's a theory work in progress.
Yeah. All right, Nick. The chat wants to know. We want to know. We have a thing on our show. You come on our show and you got a hoodie on. We need to know: are you dogging under the hoodie?
I am.
Oh,
yeah! Let's go!
I'm in my house. I'm not going to dirty up a shirt and a hoodie for the whole day. Like, what are we
doing? Man.
Chris Kringle, you got to put a T-shirt on.
It's less laundry.
You got to put an A shirt on or something underneath that, man.
I'm not trying to impress nobody.
You just in there
You
dogging.
subscribe to my rule, Nick. My rule is, yes, if I'm going out in public, I will put a shirt on under the hoodie. But if I'm running to the store or I'm at the house, I'm allowed to dog it. And I think that's the rules Nick's following, and I appreciate it.
Golly, Nick.
I will say, you guys did not let me get away with anything. It was 11:31. I got 2 texts from Clarence, 2 from Jeff. Hey, where are you? What's going on? I was like, man, geez, they are ready to roll today. I appreciate
we don't play
you.
games.
Monday, y'all are ready to get out.
11:30, man. He's supposed to be on 11:30.
Journalists need to be on time for things, okay? I know you've gotten used to the Cowboy way where the 11 o'clock presser starts at 11:17, but around here, we're on that clock.
We don't play that CP time, baby. We get here on time.
Fort Worth Star Telegram. Follow him everywhere he does things. He's awesome. Thank you, Nick.
Thank you,
baby.
Somebody asked, why do I have a bell on my cane? Answer. When I was in Japan and I knew I was having a surgery. Huh?
It's Jeff.
Because you're Jeff.
Because you're Jeff.
When I was in Japan and I knew I was having the surgery, we were at the market and we saw a cane store. And so I dipped in there. So I was like, I'm going to need a cane at some point. They had some awesome canes. One had a little dragon on the handle. One was gold. They had some cool canes. This one was $20 on Amazon. But one of them had a bell on top, and I just thought that was hilarious. And so once I ordered my cane, I did not order this bell. This bell was a gift from someone who was paying attention in Japan. It was like he wanted that one with that bell. And so we strapped this sucker on there just to let people know I'm coming. If I'm going to make a left or a right turn, I like to hit the bell.
You got to do the hand signals like you riding a bike. Like you riding a bike.
I like to let people know. Silk Strikers in the Super Chat. Trading Pickens is a draft and develop move. Aren't we as Cowboys fans tired of that? Keeping Pickens and fixing the defense is a win now move. That's what I would like to see. I would like to see everything line up with the idea of winning now. Last offseason, when you brought in Pickens, you were ready to win now. Then you traded Parsons and torpedoed the season. So if you're trying to win now, try keeping all your best players. I think it's a good plan.
If you was a real pimp, you'd have a pimp cane, though.
Wait, what?
You don't know what I'd do with this cane.
I'm just saying, it's not a pimp cane.
Pimping be pimping. It's about what you do, not what you carry.
I've been pimping since been pimping.
Pimping said pimping with pimping. Pimping.
MD Rowe with a great question in the chat that I'm not going to read. Coming up next on the DLS Cowboys podcast, Jesse's heading out on vacation. The headlines he wants to see upon his return is next. I would like to encourage all of you out there right now, sign up to be a diehard and do it today. Take advantage of our limited time intro offer. I believe this is the last day of this. Normally it's $79.99 to sign up to be a diehard. Right now it is $36 during our free agency frenzy. It may not be a total frenzy around here, but we get to use those words because we like alliteration. But it's a great time for you to sign up to be a diehard. Take advantage of the discount. Believe it's the last day, $36 instead of $79.99. And for that $36 over the course of a year, what is that, $3 a month? Here's what you get. You get to pick a free t-shirt from our merch store. That's about a $36 value right there. Whatever team you love, we've got cool merch. We got cool t-shirts for that team. You can rock those when you go to the games. Maybe you're sitting on the couch watching it, you still rock it. I don't know. But you get the free t-shirt. You get an ad-free experience on our website. You get access to all of our premium diehard level only content. So you'll have all of your favorite DFW sports teams covered. Everything you need, everything you want about your favorite team. We got beat writers for all of them. In addition to doing all of these shows, 5 days a week, you get a show on them, and then you have the content on the website as well. So take advantage of that. You get invited to our Discord, where all of your fellow DFW diehards are hanging out with us, the DLS crew, just shooting the stuff in there in the Discord. You get your diehard carrying card. You get you that. And you get discounts on merch and events on top of the free t-shirt that you get. So you get a free one, and then you get discounts on other stuff that you want from the merch store. Also included, of course, is the Die-Hard Draft Guide. Fran Duffy, our all-city draft expert, is incredible. The amount of information in there, if you're an NFL draft guy or gal, and you want to know everything there is to know about all these prospects, you want his rankings, you want his scouting reports, it's all in there. So take advantage of the sale that's going on right now that is ending very soon, and get yourself signed up to be a diehard today. Do that or else, which of course is not a threat. All right, it's the DLS Cowboys podcast. We got one segment remaining today. Please smash the like button while you're here. We sure do appreciate you. I see you, Ronald Sr., up there in the chat. Did we have a super chat that I hadn't got to before we pop into this Jesse segment? Okay, we're all caught up. So Jesse, about to go on vacation. Mm-hmm. Tell us where you're going, the exact address where you're
going,
staying.
Jesse? Where you going? How long you gonna be gone?
And the headlines that you want to see upon your return.
I'm staying local. Taking a couple days off, man. You know, kind of just a woosah.
You don't want to do that TSA. That's what it is. You don't want to mess with them TSA lines. You're going to stay here.
Brother. Woosah.
Woosah.
That's what a woosah. But when I return, after I take my hiatus.
What's woosah's name?
Whoa.
What's woosah's name?
I think
Goose Fraba.
Use that. This is my PSA to all of you. Use that PTO. Okay.
Yep.
Take some time off.
That's right.
Whatever it is that you do, take that time off. But
if they say unlimited, test them. Test them on it. Because some people have unlimited PTO, and on average, they take.
They don't have unlimited. They have flexible.
Well, I've seen it called unlimited, and on average, those people take less days than if you have a set number. So test your employer if they tell you got whatever you want.
If you test your employer, it's truly going to become unlimited because you're going to be out of a job.
Yes.
You're going to have a lot of days off. You're going to be out of a job. All right, so when I come back from my time off, there's a couple things that I want to see. Jonathan, we going 5 to 1 or 1 to 5?
We're going to start here, and we're going to build up.
All right, so here we go. When I come back.
Oh, God, let's get it screenshotted.
When I come off my hiatus, I want to see George Pickens extended. I'll be out for the rest of the week. When I return on Monday, I want to see George Pickens extended. That is one of my wishes while I'm away.
What we used to say when we was growing up, people in hell want ice water.
They do.
They ain't getting it.
Well, I mean, the Lord can do mighty things.
Let the man hope.
People in hell want ice water.
I would love to see the Cowboys get something done with George Pickens. You now know what the highest number will be this offseason. Work your way through that. Get George Pickens, because I'm not tuning in for an emergency pod if y'all happen to have one.
Why not? I did it And from the hospital bed.
First of all, you coming out vacation for a Pickens extension. If that's what you want, you coming out PTO for a Pickens extension.
I was
especially
3
since
hours.
You're gonna be local.
I was 3 hours out of
Since
surgery.
that's what you want. That's something you want.
I was high.
Why would you not come back for Pickens?
Y'all not gonna bully me into this.
I'm just saying. I've come out vacation for a lot of stuff.
point is-
When news breaks, we are here.
The point is to
Did I
take-
pop on from Japan?
No.
Never?
No.
I thought I did.
No.
I think I
Yes,
did.
you did.
No, you did.
Oh, you did that one time.
Yeah,
you
I
had a
sure
good
did.
view. You got. It means more to you.
Just I am the SEC.
You are the SEC.
It
of
just
this.
means
It just
more.
means more. All right, so I want to see George Pickens extension. What else I want to see when I come back?
Oh, 2 of them.
Yeah, I want to see.
Two?
I want to see the Cowboys acquire 2 linebackers. Go ahead and get this stuff done. When I come back, I want to see linebacker addressed. Let's go ahead and eliminate all doubt in what we'll have at the linebacker position. They got mad at Nick Harris. Get mad at me too. Go get
Pair of them.
a pair of them. Go get Brooks. Go get al-Shaair from. I like al-Shaair too because you know what he
might be suspended a couple of games.
It's okay.
I
I want my linebacker willing to kill somebody. Not Aaron
Not
Hernandez.
kill.
Not in the Aaron Hernandez way, but in the physical way on the field of I want to physically bring harm to you
Okay.
that could potentially lead
Okay.
to your demise.
I want to potentially paralyze you in a
Right.
clean way.
In a clean way. In a clean way. So that's what I want to see. I want to see George Pickens extended. I want to see linebacker addressed.
J. Phil said 2. Jesse got into Jeff's supply. My pills. I do have a lot of pain pills. You want some?
Yeah, I'm taking vacation. I might well get me a couple of them things. You know what I'm saying?
I got some other stuff for you too.
All right.
Anyway.
All right. Next, what, bro?
You go get you
Next-
a couple of them things on vacation.
Next, what I want to see is
Hey man,
when Jeff,
is
when I,
this?
when I come back, because you're putting in a lot of work.
what is it?
I want to see Jeff nail a Tootsie Roll.
Okay, you want to see this knee be right?
I want to see the knee be able to do the Tootsie Roll.
Okay.
I want to be able to come in here and go, up, that's old. Let me see you do the Tootsie Roll.
Cotton candy.
Sweet
You know
as
what it is?
gold.
Yeah.
Let me see you.
I don't know how, but I'll look it up.
Yeah, YouTube it.
You should know this.
YouTube
It's an old Dallas dance.
Show
It's
me.
been a long time.
Show me.
Invite some more black friends to your crib. They'll teach you.
I was born in
What about
Missouri,
the one that
Clarence.
what about the one that comes over? You think he knows how to do it?
Show me.
Hell no.
You don't think Wes knows how to Tootsie Roll?
Nah, Wes went to, where you go? West Point? Where you go? Cornell.
Cornell.
Yeah.
he went to Cornell.
Shout out to Cornell. Shout out to Wes. Wes can't Tootsie Roll. I don't think Wes can Tootsie Roll.
Probably not.
Wes wanted to get into an argument with me about what was harder to do, get into Cornell or get into the NFL. That's
Cornell?
That's insanity.
Cornell?
That's insanity.
That's the argument that he wanted to have.
That's crazy.
Well, I also found out something fun about geography because it was Wes got jumped
Yeah.
because he's from Jersey. Jesse's from Jersey. Girl that was at the house named Gabby's from Jersey. And then when they found out where in Jersey, they told him he's not from Jersey
He's not
anymore.
from Jersey. He knew
If
it.
you're in the wrong part of Jersey,
Yeah,
you're
of
not
course.
from Jersey.
He's
Yeah.
not from Jersey.
He said you're from Philly.
He knew the minute 2 people from Jersey actually were from Jersey, because when he said it, he was like,
Yeah, and they
Where's
just
he
jumped him.
from?
he's from South. He's from he's from Philadelphia.
Yeah, he's from Philly. You're
He's
right.
from Philly.
He Philly side.
He's an
yeah.
Eagle fan, so that's
Yeah,
he's
verified.
way down there.
He's
Yeah,
from
verified.
Philly. He's not from.
Because if you go up there, Philly, Jersey, right there.
Yeah, he's from Jersey. All right. So next thing I want to see when I get back from vacation.
Wait a minute. What are we gonna do?
Is that where you going?
What are we gonna do?
I'm going. Yeah, that's where I'm going. I want to be named the new head coach.
What are we gonna do?
I want to be named the new head coach of the University of North Carolina basketball
You couldn't
team.
coach a lick.
I can coach them boys.
And Dante Whitney gonna be a Duke?
I would be a great recruiter. I'm gonna find out for you what the mamas look like.
Yeah,
I got
nice.
you. I got you.
That's
I'm gonna
nice.
find out what the mamas look like. I'm gonna bring some kids in there. I'm gonna be tough nose.
Yeah,
And we ain't getting bounced out in around 64. I tell you that much. I can tell you that much. We ain't getting bounced
You
out
gonna love your wife?
in the round 64.
You gonna have a wife to love?
She
You
won't-
love your wife?
I tell you, if I do, she won't be Caucasian.
that's racist.
She won't
That's
be
racist.
Caucasian.
It's the racist bell going off. Unacceptable. Could you coach basketball?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
All
Basketball is my favorite sport.
Oh, okay.
I love basketball more than I love football.
Will your girl be better than Bill's girl? You got gonna be a girl off up there.
Women are into Bill Self. I found that out.
I'm not even talking about Bill.
I know.
But
You said Bill, and I remembered seeing Bill Self the other day. Is he Kansas? I don't even know.
Kansas.
Yeah.
He's a
Got bounced. Sorry, JJ. It's my
Yeah.
buddy. He's a big Kansas guy. But the ladies like Bill Self. I just wanted you to know that.
Ladies love successful older men with money.
Yeah.
That's a they don't like you. There's a couple steps within this shit.
You gotta have money.
You gotta have a lot of money. You gotta have a lot of money.
Ladies love chill too.
And the number one thing that I want to see when I return from vacation, Holly Berry spotted on the day with a mystery man. When I come back, when I come back from vacation, I want to see Holly Berry.
She got the Stay Shiesty shirt on.
She stayed the night. She stayed the night with old Pop. And he let her go home with the Stay Shiesty shirt on.
I gotta have a leisure suit on.
Clarence, you got to get up like that?
I know.
Is that a denim jacket?
That's Fabletics. That's a Fabletics one piece.
Okay.
That's a Fabletics one piece. You can get that on Fabletics. You can get that shirt on the website. So those are the top 5 things that I would love to see when I return from vacation.
Me too. I really don't do older women.
So out of all the things you listed, you realize the most likely one is that I can do the Tootsie Roll.
No.
That is the most likely. I don't know why we're still using that picture. That is not me. That is my face.
That is you.
Put onto I think a fake headline about trying to rescue the thick Latinas from ICE, which I will do. I'm here for the people. Okay? If you know where they're at and they need rescuing, I will head down there and give it my best.
Would you ring your bell? You're gonna ring my bell. So those are the things, man. Those are the things that I want to see upon my return from my hiatus.
All right. What do you guys want, chat? We got 3 minutes. What is the one about Pickens that was up just a little bit? What was the Pickens comment? But no, not the picture.
I thought you wanted the headline.
No, I'm trying to be in
man, I ain't watching that.
Jeff looks like he's doing a caveman commercial. No, go up just a little bit.
And listen, I
want
want
to comment. It's about the
people want to
Cowboys.
say Chill doesn't do older women. I don't do women older than me.
Because that's old.
That's older women.
Tally.
What was
What's that? Chill doesn't. I don't do older, but women my age in their 50s.
You're not in your 50s. Don't try to say women my age and then try to slide 50 in there.
Holly is not an older woman than me, okay?
How old is Holly?
59.
She's your age.
You're just changing
Exactly.
rules. You're just
She's
changing rules
She's
for
in
people.
my warehouse. I don't know people older than that.
Oh my goodness.
That's
You're just
my
changing
warehouse.
rules.
No, it's not.
That's my warehouse.
No, it's not.
45 to 59.
So basically,
I don't do young women.
if you were on a dating app, your slider,
45 to 59.
it would be set to only Holly.
Yeah, exactly.
45 to 59. That's my wheelhouse.
Holly Berry only. We got 2 minutes to burn. Will the Cowboys acquire a linebacker while Jesse is gone, Clarence? Will they make a move?
You know what?
Will they make a move?
I was thinking about that myself and like, what's the timeline? I mean, what are we waiting on? If you're going to do it, I mean, again, the dude in Houston, I don't get it because
There's no incentive for them to move.
D'Amico ain't letting him go.
Right.
Miami is on a fire sale.
Right.
Okay, so Brooks is the most realistic option if it's going to happen.
Yeah, and I'll take it.
Okay, and
I'll give you my
take
third round pick right now.
What are we waiting on? What's there to wait on?
What if, and this is Recky Spake, let me knock out the super chat before I answer. Anthony was in the super chase. It's some Recky here. Dallas is waiting to see what A.J. Brown trade comp will be, see if paying Pickens or signing is a better option. Number 3 would get more in return. Am I being a hater if I say I think A.J. Brown gets more in return than Pickens?
Are they relatively the same age?
I bet AJ's a little older.
But
he's
AJ's
got a
already
second
under contract.
Yeah, he's already been signed.
You got to pay Pickens,
Yeah,
too.
you have to trade and then pay Pickens.
Yeah.
I bet AJ gets a little bit more. I guess the only thing I could think about why they would wait on a linebacker is what if you're playing the game where you want to see what happens in the draft? If you think some trade that you could make will hold.
Well, see, the question was, could we get a linebacker done before Jesse comes back?
Right.
And so I'm like, if it's going to get done, what are we waiting on?
Yeah.
That's all I'm asking.
Hey, John, give me a little going away music, man. Give me a little.
At the best, it's 67. Budget. Give us the budget.
Somebody said, how y'all feel about delaying 4.38 in the 40? That's a 4.46 at the combine. Add 0.08 on a pro day every time. See you guys tomorrow. Remember, you know what anybody's going through. Be cool. Everybody love you. Be easy.
Don't let niggas take this easy.
There it is.
We all silly like the mayor.